Klarna's CEO bragged that AI was doing the work of 700 customer service agents. When the backlash hit, he admitted, "We have made 0 layoffs due to AI." Salesforce cut 4,000 jobs, claiming AI could do half the work. Weeks later, a spokesperson revealed they'd just moved employees to different departments. Amazon announced 14,000 layoffs and blamed AI. Hours later, a representative walked it back. AI wasn't the reason for the vast majority of cuts. 3 companies, 3 AI announcements, 3 quiet retractions. Here's the pattern nobody's talking about. Companies aren't firing you because AI can do your job. They're firing you and blaming AI so they don't have to tell you the real reason. This year, an MIT study found that 95% of companies investing in AI saw 0 return. No profit improvement, no efficiency gains, $40 billion spent, and almost nothing to show for it. The tools don't fit the workflows, the pilots fail, the technology isn't ready. But the layoffs keep coming. Over 180,000 tech workers cut in 2025 alone, and it means executives don't have to admit they made bad business decisions. Researchers have a name for this now: AI washing. It's when companies use artificial intelligence as a cover story for decisions they were going to make anyway. Overhired during the pandemic? Blame AI. Missed earnings targets? Blame AI. Need to cut costs before the quarterly report? Blame AI. It sounds innovative. It sounds inevitable. It makes shareholders happy. One Oxford professor put it bluntly, "I'm really skeptical whether the layoffs we see currently are due to true efficiency gains. It's rather a projection into AI in the sense of, we can use AI to make good excuses." The data proves him right. A Yale study examined actual labor market disruption since ChatGPT launched and found something remarkable. AI has caused almost no measurable change in the job market. Only 1% of service firms reported laying off workers because of AI in 2025. 1%, down from 10% the year before. Think about that gap. Headlines scream about AI replacing millions of workers. The actual data shows 1% of companies doing it. The narrative and the reality aren't even in the same universe. So if AI isn't actually doing your job, how does it actually get you fired? I talked to a marketing coordinator at a Fortune 500 company. She asked to stay anonymous. Last March, her entire team was eliminated. The internal memo cited AI-driven workflow optimization. She asked her manager what AI tools they were implementing. He couldn't name one. Nobody asks too many questions. That's AI washing in action. The technology was never the point. The cost cutting was. Here's the mechanism. A company needs to reduce headcount. Maybe they overhired. Maybe sales are down. Maybe they're restructuring before a merger. In the old days, they'd announce layoffs and take the PR hit. Now they wrap it in an AI story, realizing AI-related efficiencies. And here's what should concern you most. This trick works best on certain kinds of workers. A Stanford study analyzed payroll data from millions of Americans and found that employment for workers aged 22 to 25 has declined 13% in AI-exposed jobs since 2022. Software developers in that age range? Down 20%. Customer service? Down 20%. Meanwhile, employment for older workers in the exact same roles stayed flat or grew. The entry-level job market is collapsing, not because AI can do the work, but because companies have discovered they cannot fill those positions and blame it on automation. It's cheaper to let a role vanish than to justify why you're paying a junior employee when ChatGPT supposedly handles it. The problem is, ChatGPT doesn't actually handle it. The workflows break. The quality drops. The experienced workers absorb the extra load until they burn out. But by then, the quarterly numbers look good, and the CEO has moved on to the next earnings call. This is what the AI layoff story misses. It's not about technology replacing humans. It's about technology providing cover for decisions that hurt humans. And the long-term damage is worse than the immediate job losses. The way you make a senior employee is by training a junior one. The way you build institutional knowledge is by having people work alongside each other for years. When you eliminate the bottom of the ladder, you don't just lose those workers. You lose the future managers, the future executives, the future CEOs who would have climbed that ladder. One business school professor called it an exponentially bad move. He warned that cutting entry-level positions for short-term savings will create a talent crisis within 5 years. Companies will wonder where their pipeline went. The answer will be obvious. They AI washed it out of existence. And that crisis is already starting. Job postings for entry-level roles in the US have dropped 35% since January 2023. Venture capital firms report a 50% decline in hiring workers with less than 1 year of experience. The ladder isn't just missing rungs. It's being dismantled while everyone watches. Here's what this looks like in 2027 if nothing changes. Companies that eliminated their junior workforce will face a middle management shortage. They'll have senior employees with no one trained to replace them. They'll try to hire experienced workers from competitors, but competitors did the same thing. The entire industry will be fighting over a shrinking pool of mid-career talent that nobody bothered to develop. And the companies that kept hiring entry-level workers, that invested in training instead of AI washing their payroll, they'll have the only functional talent pipeline left. So what do you do with this information? If your company announces an AI transformation, but doesn't invest in training, infrastructure, or actual implementation, recognize it for what it is. PR, not strategy. Real AI initiatives take months of pilot programs and workflow redesign. If they skip straight to layoffs, it was never about AI. If your manager starts talking about AI-related efficiencies, ask specific questions. What tool? What workflow? What metrics improved? If the answers are vague, the AI story is cover for something else. You deserve to know the real reason your job is at risk. And if you're early in your career, understand the game you're playing. The Stanford study found that jobs where AI augments work, where technology helps employees do more, aren't declining. The cuts are concentrated in roles where AI is framed as replacement. The difference between getting hired and getting passed over might come down to how well you demonstrate that AI makes you more valuable, not less. Learn the tools. Show the results. Make yourself impossible to AI wash away. Because here's the truth. Nobody wants to say out loud. AI isn't coming for your job. Your boss is coming for your job. AI is just the excuse. 95% of companies see no return on their AI investments. The technology doesn't work the way the press releases claim. The efficiency gains are mostly imaginary. But the layoffs are real, the hiring freezes are real, and the careers getting derailed are real. The next time you see a headline about AI replacing workers, ask a different question. Not, can AI do this job, but who benefits from saying AI can do this job? The answer is rarely the workers, and it's rarely the truth.